the Moors. You know
Not
the Moors.
Africans, yeah.
Let's go back in time.
Great people, by the way. They conquered Spain and,
Okay.
civilized you.
Sure. Yeah, we talked about that already in a previous podcast. I'll let it slide this time. Let's go back in time
Yeah.
a little bit, maybe to 1400s AD. Okay. What happened? The Moors already been around Europe for a while, right? What did they do?
They civilized you. They saw
but
that.
let's skip that part. What else did they do?
Skip that part.
What else did they do?
They taught you a lot of
They
things.
did something very bad. Something that we white people are being blamed for today. But what did the Moors do?
They helped you. They brought you out of the dark ages.
Okay.
They brought you to the light.
Okay, let me enlighten you of something.
Enlighten me. Okay.
Yeah. So, in the eyes of the Moors, as far as I've read, being pale skin, having blue eyes, maybe blonde hair, was extremely valuable. Okay? Pale skin was valuable back in the day. So, what did they do? The Moors, they took slaves, white slaves, okay? Why are we not talking about this?
I'm trying to get where you are driving out.
I just want to highlight that because why are we not talking about it? Why are we constantly talking about white people taking slaves from Africa, which, by the way, were being sold by Africans to white people? But we're not talking about what happened before that. Let's say 300 years before that.
So you are trying to compare the Moors.
There's no comparison.
Spain
I'm just saying white people
slavery.
have been slaves. Why are we not
the
talking
whole
about it?
The
Isn't
whole world
that
have
bad?
been into slavery before.
So why are we always just talking about when white people took black people?
We are not only talking about
None
that.
of it is good, but we're only talking about that.
Look, in antiquity, the world was quite different, A lot of kingdoms, they go into wars with other kingdoms.
Yeah.
And, when they get some captives, captives of war, they don't know what to do with these people. Then they sell them out,
Yeah.
It has, that is how it has been in antiquity.
Of course.
But what you are comparing it to,
it's not a comparison.
if I'm right, you are trying to compare it to the genocide that was committed by white people, where they enslaved an entire race, The Moors coming to Spain was not racially based. They were coming to conquer Spain and teach them all basic means of civilization. Because
but
at that
slavery
time,
was racially based.
It wasn't racially based.
Because
it was territorially based.
Blue eyes.
It was based on territory. It wasn't based on your race.
Then how come
but you guys came targeting purely black people, targeting purely myelinated people.
No, the black people were there. So obviously those are the ones that will become slaves. You can't compare the
slavery. You can't compare.
It's not a comparison. I'm just stating
You can't
fact.
compare it with what you guys did. You are making it a racial base here. You are trying to say, okay, the Moors came and they were only targeting white people. No, it wasn't like that. The Moors, it was based on territory, right?
Okay.
Because Spain is very close to Morocco, very close to North Africa,
Yeah.
So they came solely territorially based. They were coming to conquer a territory, just like what Alexander the Great did. Alexander the Great, when he conquered Persia, it wasn't based on race.
No, of course.
It was they wanted to expand the Greek territory.
Right. Yeah.
Hellenization.
Yes. But
Hellenization.
Yes, that's true.
So the Moors, they also did the same thing, based on territorial conquest, based on territorial conquest.
Right.
They did the same thing. It wasn't motivated by racism. It wasn't motivated by, we are going there to conquer those blue-eyed, blonde-haired people. No, it was based on territory. But what you guys did, in the 10th century, 16th century, was you were coming to to purchase people solely based on their skin color.
That were being sold by
exactly
Africans.
That's why I keep telling you today
Blame your
that
own.
black people can never be racist.
Blame your own.
The racist agenda is inbuilt in your double helix, is in your DNA, right?
No.
You guys are the ones that even brought the idea of racism. In early antiquity,
yeah,
people didn't judge people by the color of their skin.
Mm-hmm.
They were just humans in their own time, in their own civilization. Yeah. If you are from a weaker kingdom,
mm-hmm.
and your kingdom is defeated, you most likely be a slave.
Mm-hmm.
But what you guys did, you guys redefined conquering an empire. You redefined it to racial base. You redefined it to black people. When your skin is dark, you're automatically a slave. That is what you guys did, and that is what is very wrong. And that is why we are still talking about this today.
Mm-hmm. Okay, so let's go back to the Moors that we were talking about originally.
Yes.
Which also is exactly the same thing. Because, as I said, being pale skin, having blue eyes was valuable. It was seen valuable. It's written. That's the thing, get it? That they took slaves based upon those facts.
Blue eyes. What would they do with blue eyes? And
it was valuable, apparently.
The thing
Go read about it. I don't know.
The thing you don't understand is slavery was solely based on...
It doesn't make any of it right.
Wait.
I'm not saying
Let me land. Slavery was solely based on manpower. What has blue eyes and blonde hair got to do with manpower? It doesn't mean automatically you are strong.
A slave doesn't require... Being a slave doesn't always mean you're going to do, work with your body.
Physical work.
People want not always physical work.
The purpose of slavery was to get men to walk the fields.
No.
To construct the roads.
No.
What does blue eyes and
also about being a pleasure woman, for example, cook. It can be anything in a household.
Woman.
Doesn't mean you have to go and plow a field. Get it? Or lift bricks. No, you're wrong. That's not it.
Let's get this fact clear. The Moors, when they invaded Spain, they were solely there for territorial conquest. They conquered Spain and they saw that you guys had kind of lost civilization. You guys didn't take showers. You guys didn't even know how to run an economy. There were no structures in Spain. Like you guys did
now
not.
Now it's in the reverse. How interesting!
You guys did not develop your land.
Doesn't know how
so
to run
what did the Moors do when they came? They brought knowledge and advancement.
Mm-hmm.
They included you in the system.
Mm-hmm.
They were not there to just dominate. They included you. They taught you basic advancement. And also, let's get this point straight. They didn't enslave you guys.
Mm.
Because do you know what? If you enslave someone, you put them in chains and get them to walk the fields day and night, just like what the Americans did to the Americans did to black people.
Well, the women were not on the fields; they were also in the households, taking care of the
women
household,
were in the household.
for example. So it doesn't.
No,
it's not only about being in chains or whatever. I don't know. That's not right. That's not correct.
That was what happened. On the contrary, that was what was written in history.
Some of it,
people buy slaves to walk the fields because people were lazy to go into the fields and work.
Mm.
If you can get another man to cultivate your fields, and the harvest from that field belongs to you because you are the slave masters. But what the Moors did wasn't related to that in any way.
Yeah.
They came to Spain to civilize the Spanish people. At that time, people were dying like flies.
Yeah, they were.
Because they didn't know how to take care of themselves. They didn't know how to shower. The hygiene was very bad. So you should be thanking the Moors for coming to Europe and, advancing your life instead of condemning them. But what have the white people done?
I'm not condemning anything.
What has the white people done for Africa? Since you guys came to colonize Africa, you only brought death. You brought your diseases, you plowed the land, you raped the land, you raped our women, there was nothing of value you added. Even the so-called roads that you claim you constructed was just to ease your transportation of those raw materials that you found there to the coastal line and be shipped to Europe, not for the benefit of Africans.
Mm-hmm.
Exactly.
So you're telling me there was like nothing good came out of colonization?
Nothing good came out of colonization. I will say that boldly, because you didn't improve the life of our people. You just came and take and take and take. You didn't give back.
Okay, let me ask you another question then, since we're talking about colonization now. The United States, for example.
Yes.
If the colonization never would have happened, imagine what the world would have looked like now. Do you think that there is some kind of good colonization, or do you think all of it is bad, like bad?
Colonization can never be good.
But don't you think that
it can never be good? Do you know what can be good? Collaboration.
Yeah.
Just like the Moors did. When they came, they collaborated. You know, they impacted and they learned some few things until they were expelled. And when they were expelled from Spain, they went back to Africa. They didn't build a garrison in Spain, you know, or they didn't build an embassy in Spain and say, oh, the Spanish people, they need to report back to us and pay taxes or whatever. They didn't do that. They left totally. But you guys are still in Africa 2024. Just last year, the French left Burkina Faso. They left Niger by force.
Yeah.
And they are threatening war.
Yeah.
The Moors didn't threaten you guys. They left. They let you guys be. But you guys want dominance because you lack resources. You want that stronghold over Africa. You don't care how you do it.
Yeah.
You just want to subdue Africa. You just want to keep looting the land perpetually, forever and ever and ever. But we are saying no.
Yeah. I mean, back to the question, can there be good colonization? I mean, the USA would. Let me listen.
Can there be good
the
death?
USA, for example, wouldn't even exist if it wasn't for colonization. I mean, if Europeans never would have, arrived in the United States, it would not have existed today. So, in a way, I guess there has to be some kind of good colonization, right?
Good colonization.
Think about the bigger picture. Yeah.
It's just like saying to an immigrant orphan, that if we didn't kill your parents, you won't be in Europe. It's just like an adopted child now. You are telling that adopted child that if your parents didn't die, you won't be in Europe. So it's actually good that your parents died. That is why you are in a good family in Europe now. It's basically the same thing. There can never be good colonization. Colonization is a dictatorship.
Yeah.
You go in there, you colonize the people, you subordinate them, and you put them lesser than you, which means every dealings in that country, you are in charge. You infringe on their sovereignty just because of greed. It's like someone barge into your house and tells you, go wash my clothes, go cook me food, go to work. Every money you earn belongs to me because I own this house now.
Yeah.
That is what colonization is. You can't sugarcoat it. You can't make it sweet. It's bitter.
Yeah, of course. I see your point, of course. It's inhumane, but I think that some good is coming out of it as well.
Okay, wait. Let's colonize you. Let's colonize Europe. Something good will come out of it. Are you ready to be in chains? Are you
No.
ready to lose your freedom?
That's not
We'll
how we do it
colonize
these
Europe.
days.
We'll tell you don't go out after 5 p.m.
Mm.
Are you ready to lose your freedom in that way? We'll tell you what God to worship.
Mm.
Are you ready to lose your freedom
No,
that
I'm
way?
not.
We'll tell you when to watch TV, when to go to sleep. We'll tell you what clothes to wear, what food to eat. We'll tell you go walk the fields. Whatever money or whatever resources that you discover belongs to us because you are our property.
But you're missing the point. Now, I'm not talking about colonization of Africa. I'm talking about the United States right now, okay? So imagine all of those people that live there now. They would probably not have existed if it wasn't for that.
They shouldn't even
the world
exist
economy,
in
like
the first place.
There's so much things.
No, you are talking about the world economy as if the world economy is not in shambles today. Like
Yeah.
you know, do you know on whose expense did the United States gain power? On whose expense? The native Indians died in their millions, and you are trying to justify the current day economy that is in shambles. You're trying to justify that.
I'm saying that bad things sometimes lead to good things.
There's no good thing can come out of bad things, because there are still indigenous people in America today.
Yeah, there.
Who probably remember the good old days when their ancestors were just allowed to just be, do what they want, go about, But what colonization does is it restricts your freedom and it creates a trauma, PTSD, that you can't heal from it overnight. It's a process. And the height of it all, you lose your territories. You lose your land.
Yeah.
You start getting different foreigners coming to your land, to your indigenous soil, to do whatever. And you don't even have a say about it.
Yeah. So how about, what do you think? Like, I saw this article about, I think it was a man from the States that said that to save Africa, a recolonization should be done.
That man is a donkey. Is a donkey. What about to save the United States, to save Europe?
Yeah.
Africa needs to be given a chance to colonize you guys.
But I think it was so
we can fix your system.
His point was more African countries are not able to govern themselves.
Of course, because you are still there, because you are still dictating what rules should play.
Yeah.
You are still dictating how Africa should manage their economies.
Yeah.
Like the UN today, in the UN Charter, do they have a voice in the UN? No.
Probably not, no.
5 permanent members in the UN, and no African country is a permanent member.
Yeah, that's
Even
true.
South Africa is not a permanent member in the UN.
But hey, you're getting BRICS now, so you're joining something, right?
We are joining something, but we don't know yet if if we'll be allowed self-autonomy, as in total self-autonomy. We don't know yet. People are still speculating. The new BRIC, now it's BRICS, right? Before it was BRIC, right?
Yeah.
Which is basically what countries? Russia, China, Iran, India,
yeah, is it?
Brazil. Yeah, but I believe it was out of pity that they added South Africa. They're like, okay, let's just add South Africa to this this movement, because it doesn't feel right. Let's just it's the same thing all over again.
Yeah.
Africans need to come together and consolidate their continent.
Very
We need
true.
to form a union and speak with one voice, use one currency. That is how we, that's how we defeat the West.
But
by coming together.
Yeah.
If you maltreat a person from South Africa, you maltreat the whole of Africa.
Yeah.
Just as the UN is doing right now. An attack on one is an attack on all, right? Why can't Africa replicate that same system? An attack on an African country, on one African country, is an attack on all. And we speak with one voice. That is how we will get real power to liberate ourselves from you guys.
But like, what if all the countries that have colonized Africa, or actually still today is in a way, like let's say France.
Yeah.
Blah, blah. Imagine all of those countries just dropped everything and left.
Oh
left
God.
Those countries to govern themselves, like 100%. Do you think that all the poverty, all the issues those countries, Nigeria, for example, have, would they be fixed within 10, 20 years?
Automatically. It will be fixed automatically.
Are you sure?
But no, in every action, there's an equal and opposite reaction.
Yeah.
When the French people, and whosoever is still, whosoever still has stronghold in Africa,
right?
When they leave, they are going to go into poverty. What does France produce?
I don't know, actually.
Is it French fries? They don't even make French fries. So what resources are they going to trade with? What resources? What does France has?
Well, at the moment they have a crazy big gold reserve, so I guess they will
gold
just
reserve
start selling
that
off
they stole.
One.
When they sell it off, then what? Exactly.
It's a good question.
So I believe because France doesn't have a lot of resources, naturally, not the ones they stole, they are going to try every means to retain that power, to retain a stronghold over Africa.
Yeah.
They are going to try, even if it leads to war or whatever. But they need to accept. Come to the realization that, these people, we've been oppressing them for so long. Let's diversify our economy because we can't keep holding them forever.
Yeah.
But they haven't done that. They still depend on our resources.
That's true.
They need a thinking leader that will diversify. Look at Dubai today. Dubai didn't enslave any African countries, but they are already planning. They are already diversifying. They are already, making their country a touristic or a tourist hub of the world. That's a thinking leader. That's a thinking system. They are future-proofing themselves in case oil runs out. They will have something else to fall back on.
Do you think a Nigerian...
But France is not doing that. France just wants to hold you by force, take your resources. You can't trade your resources yourself. We will trade it for you. We'll be the middleman. When we get a bargain for your resources, let's say it's $100, we'll give you 2 cents.
Yeah.
And you should be happy. You should be grateful. You should. Oh, this is bullshit. It's all bullshit. And it's annoying to talk about it because, people are going through hardship. If you go to Congo today, you see kids in the mines. Yeah. Because that's the only way they can survive, There's no other way. And the funny thing is, you are looting Africa, but you are not investing in Africa. At least make the people comfortable. You are stealing billions, right? Build schools. Create institution.
Yeah.
Just to compensate the people and be a human. Well, be humane for once.
Some influencers are doing that, right?
Some influencers.
At least they're giving some back.
We don't need charity.
Yeah.
We don't need charity. We own these resources, right? We want what belongs to us.
Yeah.
You don't. The thing I hate most is when these European countries, maybe they sign a check to Africa, maybe $2 million, $3 million. They call all the press in the world to say, "Oh, look, we are helping. We are giving them money." Like you stole from them first. Now you are helping them with peanuts. And you have the effrontery to call the press and publicize it. Oh, we are helping. Look at the way Britain, look at the way their museum, they quickly publicized it on the news that they are loaning back artifacts that they stole from Ghana. They call the press to publicize it. Oh, we are loaning them. You see, we are being nice now. We are loaning them their property for 3 years.
But like West Africa, for example, that were colonized by UK.
And the French too.
Yeah. Hasn't that still kind of given you an opportunity for another type of life? I mean, you can go there, you can live there, you can get a visa.
Why do we want to? No.
But still,
this is one thing I ate. I ate this. Yeah. I ate this more than anything.
Let me finish.
When you give us visas, you think you are doing us a favor to come and see, to come to your country and see what you've looted from us. I say, wow.
So why do you guys go there if it's so bad? Like,
because there is nowhere else to go. You've plundered our land. You've stolen our resources. There are no opportunities anymore. And you are still looting. You are claiming autonomy of resources that doesn't belong to you. And you are telling us not to come to your country to feed. People can't feed anymore. You've bought all the land. You've taken over all the resources. Like even local artisans that go by them, they go themselves to go mine. When after mining these things, you give them peanuts.
Well, you're still getting new opportunities in those
countries. Opportunity? No, we are not getting opportunities. You are a thief. You are basically a thief. You just want them. It's like taking a very rich king and putting him in jail. No, okay. I have a perfect example. It's like going to the forest in Africa, catch a gorilla, right? And put him in a zoo. You know, every now and then you feed him bananas and some treats every now and then. And you say, oh, you should be happy you are in a zoo. You are getting food. We are feeding you. We give you water. You know, you should be happy. Like, it doesn't make sense. It doesn't make sense. Why should we be happy that you stole all our resources and every now and then you are throwing us the bone? We should be happy. We should be thankful that at least the French are giving us chicken. At least the French people, every now and then, they donate some money to help us. No. We are not stupid. We are not your chickens. Come on. We are not your chickens. We will kick you out, you know. We will kick you out and we will reclaim back our resources. That is what a Pan-Africanist will do. We are not chickens. We are not docile. We are not your slaves. We are men. We are men. And we are strong men. Bum, bum. Bum, bum. Bum. You should know by now that I don't give a fuck. I put in work, watch my money piling up. Saw so many pen in the hood where I'm from. Try to make it out, I don't wanna be a bum. Bum bum. I don't wanna be a bum. I don't wanna be a bum bum. I don't wanna be a bum. I don't wanna be a bum. Onomatopoeia. Bum bum. Onomatopoeia.